Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Borderlands. So last time we did the ending of the zombie island of Dr. Ned, and we pretty much proved to myself at least the reason why I don't want to play the Underdome Mad Moxie DLC. There is, I can confirm now, only one grand tournament after you do the initial 3 tournaments according to the achievements. So now we can start the third DLC, which should be at T-Boone Junction. I guess it says visit beautiful on every single one of these teleportation things. It seems like they should have switched that up every now and then. So I don't remember which one this is. I think we'll find out. We didn't even get a video like this in the Mad Moxie DLC. No introduction, no story.
Pandora, a planet that once knew only peace and prosperity under the fair and noble direction of the Atlas Corporation.
I don't believe that was ever true.
Sought to disrupt our perfect existence. Thieves and murderers, perverts and scoundrels. The lawless garbage unleashed an unspeakable evil upon Pandora, not known since the age of the gods. But together we shall not despair. Atlas has not forgotten you. We are returning and will restore order and security to your planet. When we arrive...
Bullshit. I have choked on the disingenuous lies forged by their corporate greed my entire life. And it is a meal I will no longer stomach. Atlas is here for 2 things, power and revenge, and the order they do it in is irrelevant. We share a common enemy, you and I. The reward for your death is second only to mine. That alone should be reason for you to join my cause. But if it is not, and your greed precedes you, then you will gain access to all of their weapons. Their invasion stockpile will be yours. Athena out.
So we get this new character called Athena, and it's the secret armory of General Knox.
You must speak immediately, but I'm afraid for my own security, and therefore you must jump through a hoop or 2. Talk to the mechanic. He knows where to find me. And a word of caution, don't touch him if you ever want to eat with your hands again.
Scooter, but I didn't even know her. So this is going to be heavy on extending the story of Scooter. This area is also going to be pretty heavy on this glass here. It's going to be pretty heavy, I think, on car combat. In fact, we may even end up in a desert area like this. I know there's a certain point in either Borderlands 1 or 2 that is like that. This is also a nice area to teleport to if you just are a little bit low on bullets or cash. It's one of the few areas that will respawn because if you got out of the DLC, I think it probably wouldn't remember. Let's switch to our Jacobs revolver. We've got some slightly different designs here. Pandora travel and custom admissions, fast travel network center, and relay hub, customs, and immigration authority. So this is theoretically where the people that first arrived to Pandora would land. Of course, it's not how we started the main game, so who knows. Good point right here to also buy bullets. I was already full, I think, and no storage deck upgrades, and we don't think I have anything to sell, so no menu hero needed. It's just in this city that's above the desert, which is a cool concept that didn't get played on that much to begin with, and immediately we can go to scooters. let's look at the map. So to the left is a store, to the right is a store, and both of those connect to a couple of roads, and that's kind of it. So let's go see what this store is. People just sitting around, they don't want to kill me. We're in a safe place, at least somewhat safe. Here we can see we're wanted for $1 million. Did this game use dollars? I guess it did. And let's see, I've forgotten how to crouch down. Another $1 million for that, probably for his owl. So each one of them wanted $1 million, except for him, who is wanted for 9,999,999. So Brick is wanted for even more. It feels like these guys should give me quests or things. Just some of those general basic ideas of an RPG are kind of missing. This feels like this might be a way downward at some point. Emergency boat launch, which is to say, when they started building all of this, this was underwater and it turned into a desert. So there's some major global desertification that happened on Pandora in a ridiculously small amount of time. But they never really talk about it. It's kind of funny that Borderlands 3 is almost certainly going to spend little, if any, time on Pandora, because Pandora is certainly one of the biggest attractions. Here we can see there's a shield stopping us, and Hyperion Doll, a Mad Moxie, and Scooter advertisements.
Hey man, you don't want to go out there on foot. T-Bone Junction is strictly a no-walk zone. We get enough accidents around here as it is. We don't need to add you to the roadkill. You ain't leaving without wheels. Catch a ride!
So you can't even leave. That's funny because it says there's something right here. Like right where I'm standing. Must be something that unlocks later. Maybe that. This is funny, by the way. Lilith's picture is showing off her breasts and stomach and all that, and not showing her face. Was that true for the other pictures? Or just hers? Let's go back and look. Taking it a little easy here. I could certainly be rushing to start this. I imagine I'll get a few hours. No, Brick's face is totally in order. This guy's face and this guy's face are totally in order, so it is just downright perviness that they took a picture of the siren that way. Assuming... So let's talk to Scooter.
Shit and meatballs, didn't think I'd ever see your dumb ass again. Really open the vault. Hey, that steel chick take her clothes off yet? Not, I'm gonna need details though. Hey, act all casual like when I say this. I'm a speaking code, so I hope you have the mental capacity to follow. Your lady friend told me to send you to Moxie's place when you stop by. If you know what I'm saying. You ain't getting nowhere without wheels, boy. And maybe girl. I've been cooking up something new, but I ain't finished the booster system yet. Need a bit of secret sauce if you're willing to lend a hand.
So we're gonna have to build a new vehicle. Turn this in for experience.
Hello, traveler.
Boost the monster.
Available on on the T-Bone Junction bounty board.
As soon as I do that, I have the thing. Clearly, they needed to better time some of those responses. Like, it doesn't. He could have waited a few minutes to say there's something on the bounty board, or at least a few seconds. Let's go ahead and take this too. We need to eliminate Crimson Lance security things, which, by the way, where are those? Apparently there's one right here. Here they are. So let's see how much damage can these things do. So we've got a new kind of security drone thing that is gonna get used a lot, but also are gonna prove to be rather nice to destroy as a secondary thing as we're flying weapons, flying around in cars and such.
Alright, hey, what I'm gonna need is an X372 supercharger, but not the 373. There's recall on that thing on account of people burning live and shit. Also a big old tank of nitrous and one of them fancy exhaust booger things. You know what it does, man.
So, the next drone is, I think, in Scooter's apartment. And we can open these boxes. It's interesting that the boxes go from green label on the outside to red, like there's some kind of technology in it. This is odd. I'm doing the other mission, but the game is not helping. Let's run back here. Find what we can find. I recall potentially spending a lot of time opening these little boxes, trying to find things. Let's just make sure nothing's on sale. See, I'm hearing some weird sounds, but doesn't seem like there's anything there. Now, if there is a way upwards on top of this, it's gonna be here. We've got more of that vault symbol. Walk it off. So, yes, we can work our way this way, and almost certainly at some point we'll end up dealing with all of this. So here's another drone. Let's shoot it a little bit quicker. Get the money. Probably need to speed some things up now. Interesting new poster, I think. I don't recall seeing that one before. I can get up here. I thought that was gonna matter. But nope. Just jump down this way. Let's move on to the next thing to shoot. I'll probably unlock more bounty board quests before I even leave this area. Here's a interesting spot because it practically invites you to die trying to jump for it to get to all these things. And this is the supercharger we needed to collect.
Smoking Jesus titty cinnamon, that is a monster! That's gonna be sweet!
So you get a lot more about Moxie and Scooter in this part. In fact, you might make the argument pretty well that if it weren't for the secret army of General Knox, the Borderlands would really not be as good of a game. They put a lot of effort here to introduce these new characters that, well, Moxie was hinted at, and Scooter was in the main game, but he was kind of boring. He had a little bit going on, but he didn't have anywhere as much of a personality as what we've even seen here. Getting a lot of money. I spent a lot of money upgrading the bank vault in the Underdome, probably for no real reason. So the only way back up, I believe, is this jump here, which is quite an awkward jump. Probably the most awkward jump in the entire game. One mistake and you fall to your death. Now let's see.
Give us your hungry, and we'll give them our leftovers. Give us your poor, and we'll give them a job that might pay. Give us your weary, and we'll make them sing us a song. We are Atlas.
So here's the sheriff's office, which is all boarded up, and Atlas is running it. Here we have Marcus's new location.
Come on in and take a look around.
Marcus, I think, is gonna get a little bit more characterization. He's gonna. Here you can see some of the paintings from the Underdome have been brought here. Let's see, 87 versus. What am I using as a shotgun right now? A much faster one. Yeah, I don't have anything, I think. A little bit of flash added to the side of these things. You have some interesting looking guns on the wall, but I don't think you ever get to buy them.
Hey, you see my gun?
Same as here. It's a bigger, nicer looking store than what we've seen before. I don't know if Marcus really needed that, but Rack Hive rides. Fun for the whole family. Don't miss real love. Tortoises? I don't know if there are tortoises in this world. Not anymore, at least. And then there's a little bit of trash that we can find bullets and things on. And then we finally found this. These guys are easy enough to kill, but they, man, a little bit of glitchiness on the floor there. They can become rather annoying if you're not careful. Let's see over here, I can find this part.
Well, shoot, looks like the passenger seat's gonna have to go bye-bye to fit that bad boy in there. I'll get to work on that right now.
So here we have a lance assassin. And so we've got these new enemies that that look like Athena, but they're named differently. And they're throwing little shurikens at me. you know, come to think of it, there's a character in Borderlands 2 that you play as that looks quite like this guy, these people, and it never occurred to me.
An Omega Senshu order has been issued for you. There will be 5 teams assembled to guarantee the objective is successful. That was the first. The Omegas are relentless and highly trained. The elites, elite. The only advantage you have is that their top operative recently left their employ. Stay alert. Athena out.
So, not just Lancers. And I have to kind of applaud the correction here now, where we've just killed 5 females enemies, which is way more than the number of enemies I think we ever killed in the main game or any of the other DLCs. And not only that, they're trying to balance it out by saying that the female assassins here are stronger and better than the people we fought to this point. For Rent Mad Scientist Laboratories. This is kind of crowd advertising to the previous DLC, or the DLC before the previous DLC, I guess. So that shouldn't have been that easy, honestly, though, to beat them. They obviously didn't want me to just completely lose, but my shotgun and being at level 41 has made it easier than it should have been. I also have this weird feeling, and I'll never be able to confirm it, but I have this feeling that maybe there's a small handful of extra levels that only happen on the second playthrough. That would explain why in the Zombie Island of Dr. Ned there were quests that I seem to remember, but we didn't really do. You can't just jump in cars, unfortunately. I think that's probably a mistake that they would have wanted to improve upon. Just, if I could jump in and steal any of these cars at any point, that would be cool. So I'm done with that quest, and we've got 4 more hit squads to do on the Crimson Tollway, and then we have this Underdome quest, which we'll never do, so just ignore this one. So now we're just looking around for the final piece of this car that we need to build. This DLC adds a new car availability to, I think, only this part of the game, though, which kind of sucks. Maybe, maybe not. Well, we'd have to check by going back to the main story.
That'll do for now.
And this is not Dr. Ned. This is Dr. Zed with a Z. Can't get over here, it seems.
Ever since these Lance guys showed up, we can't get through the sanctuary.
So these people are cut off from the main city of the main game. Here we go. Muffler.
I can always tell you the
Exhaust pipe.
Bring them on back and we'll get you rolling.
Let's see what this elevator takes me to. Yeah, it takes me right here, which is a decent shortcut. And then I can just make my own shortcut this direction. I'm at 700 health even and 1515 on my shield.
Great to see you.
A little bit more experience. Now the one thing I I can say just as we're starting this,
Hey, one of them crimson bucket sluts did a number on my hand trying to get information on your secret lady friend. Now, I didn't tell him nothing, but I can't install anything right now. Give me a hand getting this stuff in.
so it wants me to actually build the car myself, which I think will be the next mission, so I need to turn it in first, and then he'll say install it. And so we come over here to this new car, and then we just place it, and place it.
Wait! Ain't she a monster? Just gotta hack the specs into the Digistruct module so my catch a ride can build these bad boys for you. Hit that
Hello,
switch over there.
Marcos here. I've got an opportunity for you. Come see me at my place in T-Bone Junction.
So now these are going into the digi-structures, and this is cool. You don't really see a technology like this used in any other point in the game, but it's just 3D scanning and 3D modulation,
Hey, your
3D
friend's
printing.
hanging with Moxie to join the Fathom. Grab one of those monsters we just finished and get your ass moving.
Turn that in. Clear the roadblock. That's our next quest. And we can do that now right here.
Let's get some wheels.
Now, I still think only 2 players can ride in this. I don't think it's until the Borderlands 2 that they make it so that 4 players can hold on and really hype on, take the same path.
Welcome to my shop.
So Marcus wants something, so let's talk to him. Collect Lance Energy Cores. Well, that will be a nice quest like the Brains quest. You've got a... What is this? This guy's moving. This is...
Hey, you seen my gun?
What in the world? Did they shrink somebody down? Or is this a glitch? Or is this an Easter egg?
Pleasure to be doing.
I have no idea what that is. Alright, so now we've got this roadblock we need to clear, which is down south, so maybe we can take an opportunity to go the other direction, but maybe not. Maybe it's not worth your time. We can go this way, and I think there might be a slight reason to hop out. They're gonna have a lot of these points where you can spawn in more vehicles because they don't want you to have to run all the way back to the area. So the hang time quest, so this is a different area, and you can just take the vehicle with you to the other side. There's a hang time quest, and I don't think there's a challenge or anything for the number of miles you run. So this is the Crimson Tollway, which is gonna spout out some of these, and then you're going to shoot these rockets that are robot seeking, and then if you want those bullets, you've got to get out of and pick them up. The car doesn't pick them for you, so interesting decision. And you're only getting like 8 XP. And compare that to some of the zombies we were killing, where we were getting 300
Scooter
XP.
here. Just a heads up that those Crimson D-bags set up some roadblocks in the highway. Just get your murder on and we'll pretend nobody saw nothing.
Like, get your murder on. So here we go towards the roadblock, and it's going to have us just go to the Crimson Tollway, which I guess is what this section is. So, what is this whole area? It is one long road, and Moxie's red light is 20 kilometers? Yeah, just going in kilometers. And you can mostly just run through here if you want to. Let's... Oops. I forgot which button was the boost button. That's gonna be a problem. So the weirder issue is gonna come down to greater insta health pile and greater healing kits. Was that already available? So you're not gonna use that many bullets as long as you're in these cars, because those bullets are free. And yeah, all you can do is spawn a vehicle and that's a monster. So I wouldn't be surprised if you can't use the monster runs at all. I guess these are just inherently wastes of time. Let's see. I've got to figure out which button does which. It's been a long time. It should have been a long time for anybody that played this game too, to need to know when the boost happens. Found the horn. I swear there's a boost. Let's see. Options, gamepad, controller presets. Let's see. Crouch, jump, look, turn. Skill vehicle boost is the right bump. I mean the left bump. So let's go. Now it works once I had some speed on it. And see, you kind of just want to rush through this. And now we've got a couple of roadblocks. A couple of Gatling turrets we want to kill. These little guys just kind of act as annoyances. So you gotta be careful, we're about to blow up our vehicle. We have 50 health. So I've got to kill something, and there's nothing to kill. Which proves to be a problem.
Hi, I'm Scooter. I'm named after my sister. Hey, come get you some wheels.
She was named after... He was named after his sister.
You won't find finer gear anywhere on the planet.
talking.
So where is our goal? We still haven't made it to that point. We could run through here and do all that. We can also don't want to miss out on opportunities that are blatantly obvious. These red loot chests are big deals. Of course, Crimson Lance and vehicles might very easily cause me to lose. To die instantly if they run me over or do anything like that. That's why they do us the pleasure of instead having the enemies come out in the shooting gallery. It's a little noisy. It's a little silly. Got the vehicle over here. Let's hop out here. I think we've done enough. Take note that these enemies are a lot easier to kill than some of the people we were fighting on the easy Underdome fights. I don't feel like those enemies were inherently balanced well, where the rest of the game seems to adjust for a single player playing. They seemed 4 times as difficult. We get a power core, and when we hold on to the power core, we have a effect on us. So here we have a lance shock troop. So it's kind of important to get out of the car now. I need to collect these cores. And as I'm killing more and more lance troops, I'll be picking up probably more and more elemental and special weapons. And then we start having these guys. These guys can be annoying because they'll fly around a lot and their items drop. Look, there's a big old dinosaur skeleton. Let's do this. Over here we've got more people as a combat medic. I'm gonna run out of space moderately fast, considering looking at how much these guys drop. I'm kind of going around looking for some fights. I don't really feel like I'm supposed to particularly be here right now. You could do a lot of this too, but I wouldn't recommend it because, like grenades, killing by shooting barrels has a tendency not to count towards those goals. Now this is going to be a problem. This guy's hitting me with shock weapons. And he's a powerful one. But I think his shock item on his back actually decided to betray him and blow up. Hey, I just got a new Iridian weapon. Let's use that. So maybe it was a case of you needed to get rid of the Iridian weapons first before you could get any more, or maybe it's just a case that this DLC is intentionally going to try and give you more interesting weapons. It certainly seems like that might be the case, so let's switch over here. We just found an Iridian weapon which does 133. And so I'm gonna put it here and then equip it. And we'll see what this thing is and if it can do anything interesting. It's got a scope put on it. I've really suffered trying to find any of these weapons. Where's the guy? Just have to wait till he shoots me. Now, this works, but I have to hit him, and I have to hit him pretty well. I feel like your proficiency in particular needs to go up with Iridian weapons more than you would ever actually be able to do. Let's find some things to drop. Let's see. These grenade mods, probably not worth much. So I'll get rid of a couple of those. And in comparison, the shields are a little bit more valuable, although this one not. Yeah, some of these are not valuable at all. I'm gonna have to keep that under consideration. We're getting a wide range of weapons and items. And if I am going to use this Iridian stuff, it is going to be at the cost of a fast game. This roadblock is now clear. Anybody want to give me any more trouble? Darn. I suppose... Ooh, a new kind of loot box. With 4 guns. I suppose if you could get your proficiency up really high and always have an Iridian weapon, you would never need to pick up bullets. You would never need to do anything. It would be very odd, actually. See, I've got a lot more of these things that need to happen. Let's come over here and collect things. I'm full on guns again. Let's see. Is there perhaps a place where I could do a little bit of menu hero. Anywhere here. Anywhere on the map. Maybe. Is there... I am here. And... it seems to imply that there's a quest or something right here. But I don't see it. Guess maybe I could run down that way just to make sure. I just need any vending machine at all. This building doesn't look like there's any way to enter it at all. So, grab the vehicle, go further. Should be my goal. By the time we find a new vehicle spawning station, we'll probably be able to do all of that. Now, where does it want me to turn in? Hopefully I'm not stuck completely. Nope. Nope, I can get this. This'll work. Don't worry. I got this. I got this. This is perfectly normal driving. This totally works. I am totally not stuck. I have 6 wheels. They can't all be stuck. I am stuck. Thanks game. Thanks. Alright. It wants me to turn in this quest this way. We turned it in. Good. Meet Moxie to find out the information. General Knox.
All right. This is General Knox. I don't really want to be here. This planet smells like hemorrhoids wrapped in bacon. I sent Steel to this planet to take care of this little problem, and also because, seriously, have you heard her? She talks all the time. And hello, have you met our friend the Sun? So, I guess, thanks for turning her into a meat kebab. Also, I'm gonna kill you and stuff. Cheers, mate.
So this is the guy that sent the main character, main bad guy of the main story, which wasn't really the main bad guy that much. Dead end exit now. And see, once that gets fixed, it feels like we probably could get on the now I don't think these guys are gonna have cores, so I don't need to worry about that. And there's nothing here. So let's run this way. Kinda need to move a little bit quickly away from these spawners because they'll constantly respawn other things. And more of those enemies. I need to build up my income. So, what we've got to do is sell things what you don't need, which we can start with this, and then this, and 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 this was going to be a problem.
and small pets, livestock, and people named Jason.
There we go.
Remember, you can always count on Marcos when the piss comes around.
So, my cold tournament for a repeater is 119 times 15. So let's look to see if we can do anything that's better than that to begin with. Alright, next we have sniper rifles that we're doing. Let's see, where is our sniper rifle? 400 times 2.9. So that's not as good. That's not as good.
Be sure to tell your family to buy Atlas brand caskets to ensure your mangled corpse remains preserved for another lifetime.
That one. And let's see. Why, you guys? Come out here and fight. Well, maybe they're stuck under the area. Moving on, we have a rifle that was doing something better than this, certainly. 70 times 10 versus that and that. 101 times 15 I think beats that. 63 times 13. Let's see. Our bloody revolver is 400 times 1.1. So we can get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. That one. 114 times 3.3. Why is this such a slow fire rate with only 6 bullets? That's a terrible gun. 100 times 3.3. That's another terrible gun. 86 times 10. The Veritable Justice, we'll get rid of that one. So now double anarchy is 200 times 12, and so that means this needs to go away, and this needs to go away. Now I have a raging sweeper, which is 88 times 8 times 2.7 versus 45 times 11, which is slower, so we'll get rid of that. I guess I was using this recoilless rocket launcher, and I guess I was using this battle rifle. 100 times 15. I thought the battle rifle did a little bit more than that. Let's see. The 127 with a little slower rate is better, so we'll keep this War Cobra. That makes sense. There we go. So, menu hero done for a while, at least until we make it to another area. And we kind of need to make it to another area. Secret final boss 20 kilometers. Interesting. Because I know you're gonna spend a decent amount of time here. But this is also kind of boring, Fort Knox. It's hate camp 2 kilometers. And see, this way you can't make your way or walk through those barriers.
If you would like information about purchasing a drone of this kind, contact Sheila in the wholesale department.
And here we go to the deep fathoms. So, Moxie's red light district, and you can see this area is a little bit bigger and has a little bit more going on. A little bit wider, at least. It's not just roads.
Hey, just a quick note about Moxie. I bet you ain't met her. She got a peculiar streak in her. Loves the limelight, but she ain't as sketchy as she appears to be on stage. I almost forgot. She's my mom. So you treat her right, or I'll bury you where I buried Lucky. Yeah, I killed him. Don't act all surprised. I told you I was gonna do it.
And that was the main game. He said he was gonna kill Lucky. And so we find out an interesting twist that Scooter's mom is Moxie. And now we are on the ground, and now there are mines. So, and there are bad guys that are just gonna try to kill me. But see, that was like 10 XP for doing that, so it hardly feels like it's worth the time if I don't have a quest or reason for it. So what you end up doing a lot when trying to blow up these mines, which explode pretty big, is sitting there and shooting them with your gun. You can mostly ignore them too. You can also run over some skags for 23 XP, which is more XP than I got for killing the other enemies. So these are wild alpha skags, and they're not doing anything at all to the car because I have such a high level of shield and everything on them. So this idea is pretty cool to be able to drive in the open area. It gets back to the way the original Borderlands main story was in some places, but then it adds a level of challenge to the video game creators, definitely, because once you make an area that's this big and is designed to be driven around, you also allow yourself to have areas that have very little in them. And if your car happens to die, which almost certainly once in the gameplay, your car will explode and you will have to take a long journey to find where. I'm about to get shot, so I need to be careful here. So we're gonna got another legendary weapon. Man, those yellow legendaries are gonna just keep on coming ever since I went to level 40. So this isn't Moxie's place. Where am I supposed to go? I think I'm supposed to just wrap around to the top. So you can kind of see Moxie doesn't particularly hang out with the most upstanding outstanding individuals. So you have all these different paint jobs, all of these, and you just can't take it. So it's not a hugely long journey this time to go here, but we will almost certainly have that happen when we are right in the middle of the worst possible place. You can see some of the bridges are broken. Maybe we'll jump some of those, maybe we won't. They're thinking very vertically in this setup, which is different than what you usually do. Let's see, there's no way to get a car through here, so we gotta do this. Let's look for collectibles and things. They've introduced this new ability in which people from up here slide down poles. I don't believe this was in the main game. And they've integrated the Underdome. So we do have a actual location where it is, which means when we were fast traveling to that DLC, we were technically fast traveling to a part of DLC that hadn't happened yet. Now, can I hit these guys? So now I'm waiting to recharge. So there's another Alpha Death Squad. There's a couple more to take on. And this is Hera. And she is stuck. And I'm not having any trouble killing these guys.
Out of ammo.
So
Permission to retreat.
So she wants to retreat. They do have some pathfinding issues. Like they seem to take a while.
Out of ammo.
Execute attack order Gamma.
See, they seem to take a while to lock on to you, decide the path they're gonna take, and then attack and run from there. So that's two, and they have these laser swords and all of that. None of which helps them at all, considering I'm so overpowered. Grab a bunch more vendor trash. Just make sure I picked up all these energy cores. And have we been going an hour? Yes, we have. So we won't actually go into Mad Moxie's area yet. There is a thing over here that we could get to, and we'll make sure we do that. And there might be even some things over here to get to, like this. You probably would just die trying to jump that, honestly. So we've got a little bit of guns there. And then some more work there. And that's another hour. That's the first hour of the Secret Armory of General Knox. And while it's not going to give you as much XP as the Secret Island of Dr. Ned, it is going to give you faster enemies, female enemies, which is applaudable, considering how all the psychos in the entire main game are male. which maybe there was a storyline reason that they excused that. I think there probably was. But lots of guns, lots of shields, lots of elemental things. We've got this Aridin weapon that now I can actually use. It's not slow. If it turns out that it stops being useful, I can go back to the vault and just put it back in my savings vault and see if I get another one. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.